Hello and welcome to your September edition of Cardano 360, your monthly catch-up with the people and projects building out the Cardano ecosystem. Before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe and hit that bell icon to get all the very latest Cardano content and news from the team here at IOG. So it's been a busy month, but after all the hard work from across the ecosystem, a month of celebration too. The successful completion of the Vasil upgrade and Cardano's 5th anniversary, a testament to the support and dedication from you, the community. And while we'll later hear about some of the ongoing projects the team here at IOG has been focused on, we'll also hear more about two brand new community events happening in October. Definitely a reason to continue those celebrations. So on the 22nd of September, the IOG and CF teams successfully applied an upgrade to Cardano, bringing with it a host of new features. Changes to the network and Plutus, including a new cost model, which successfully landed on Tuesday, will make dApps faster, more efficient and transactions cheaper. Now, we covered what these were in some depth and what they'll mean for developers building on Cardano in September's mid-month development update. So grab the link below if you want a deep dive. The Vasil upgrade was truly a collaborative effort with a number of projects and SPOs helping inform the decisions as we ultimately triggered the hard fork after months of testing. But we thought we'd check in briefly with Nigel and Kevin to see how things are looking and get some reflections after many months of hard work from the team and the community. So the Vasil upgrade is complete. On the 22nd of September, we hard forked the mainnet, and on Tuesday, the 27th, this week, we added the Plutus V2 cost model, making the upgrade complete. Joining me are Nigel and Kevin to talk a little bit more about the journey so far and where we're going next. Nigel, Kevin, thanks as ever for joining. Now, Kevin, we obviously dealt with the main features of Vasil in the mid-month update, so if folks want to deep dive into that, they can take a look at the link below. But perhaps you can just recap on what you think are the key features that are now enabled for developers on Cardano.
We're all very excited by what's happened with Vasil, looking very much forward to seeing new dApps and other tools rolling out on the network. The key things we introduced with Vasil, first of all, a number of script improvements for Plutus scripts. So this is rolled together in Plutus V2. And the key things there are reference input, so we can refer to on-chain data and not have to repeatedly supply it within transactions. Inline datums, so that rather than hashing data items, we can refer to them directly, and that makes it much easier for people to see exactly what has been put on chain. And finally, very importantly, our reference scripts, which have a similar function to reference inputs, but allow us to refer to previously defined scripts and then to reuse them in many different transactions. And in addition to that, of course, there have been some big improvements in performance and in terms of transaction cost. So we've introduced for the first time diffusion pipelining. We're just building that up, but in essence what it does is to let transactions be diffused across the network before they've been fully validated, and then they are subsequently completely validated before they're put onto chain. So a lot of great improvements. Plutus interpreter also has been speeded up, and that's resulted in the cost reduction that I mentioned to you for dApp developers.
So Kevin, on Tuesday we did see the Plutus V2 cost model go live. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that means and why it matters?
So the Plutus V2 cost model, what this does is to enable all the goodies from Plutus V2 scripts. So dApp developers from Tuesday have been able to adapt their scripts to use Plutus V2. And in addition, what we've done is to tune the parameter settings so that both Plutus V2 and Plutus V1 scripts will benefit from the improvements to the Plutus interpreter too. So two very simple but very important things coming from rolling out the new cost model.
And Kevin, the network has been performing pretty well.
Yes, Tim, we're very happy with how the network has been performing. As always, we've been monitoring the network performance very carefully, and we're very pleased to see that our friends at Drip Drops, for example, initiated a big drop at about the time of the Vasil hard fork. I think the comments from the community said things like smooth as silk. So the network is demonstrating its resilience and capability to deal with large volumes of real works. Very pleased with that. And I was particularly taken by a tweet by Rick Matraken, one of our community members, who is showing happy raindrops with network sync at 99% or better consistently, and block propagation times down to around 300 milliseconds from about 1600 milliseconds before the Vasil hard fork. So that's a consequence of these performance improvements that I mentioned to you earlier.
So thank you, Kevin. Now, Nigel, obviously a huge amount of work went into Vasil and a corresponding number of learnings.
Definitely, Tim. I mean, it's wonderful to hear all the performance benefits and the improvements we're seeing, and we're seeing the results now. And I think that's fantastic. And it is a result of everybody working together. For me, the biggest takeaway from the Vasil hard fork was how we improve to actually deliver updates and releases into the network, working with our communities. And that's the big takeaway. So during this period over the summer, we've learned a hell of a lot from our community, from our SPOs, from our dApp community and our exchanges in how they want to get releases out into the network, what processes and testing that they have to perform in order for us to be able to support them. I think this is one of the key things in the summer that we've done extremely well. We've used critical mass indicators, which I think is very transparent, to really help us understand what needs to happen to make sure that dApps are ready for any major release, SPOs and exchanges. And we've had some great feedback from the community about us actually following that process. So I think that is the real key to what we've improved over this summer. In order to support that, we've also learned a lot from our community about the environments that they need. And we have changed the environment significantly in order to help them perform the testing they need for each different release. And I think over the coming weeks and months, we will see even more improvements to that.
So Nigel, what are the next few months going to look like now?
Well, the first thing is after such a major release, take a step back, take a deep breath, and then look to firm up what our plans are for the rest of the year. We're also analysing all the improvements that we can possibly make technically and with processes so that we can enable changes and improve things going forwards to make our node and other products more efficient and easier to actually roll out. Ultimately, it's going to help us to accelerate the deliveries and improvements onto the network in the future. Alongside that, we are looking at our release management and pipeline so that it becomes clearer how and when we do major releases alongside when we can get out minor releases and fixes and updates in the current era. We've had a lot of feedback from the SPOs and dApps in this regard, so it's been really helpful for us to understand their perspective. And so that's a key thing that we actually want to be looking at over the coming weeks and months going forwards. And despite all of that work, there's still ongoing work with our major components and things that we're working on, including new crypto primitives, peer-to-peer, and our UTXO hard disk storage.
So thank you very much, gentlemen, for that update, and of course for keeping us informed throughout the journey on the road to Vasil. We'll next hear from Nigel and Kevin at the end of October in the next 360. With all that fresh new functionality delivered to the chain, the next stage is when it starts getting really exciting. Over the months ahead, those new capabilities and improvements will start to feed through into projects that have been busy building and waiting for Vasil, as well as improvements to existing dApps. Matthew Capps caught up with Genius Yield and Dquadrant to learn a little more about how they've been working on the new enhancements and what's next for their projects.
Bartosz, thank you for being on the show today. For anybody who's new to the ecosystem, can you introduce them to Genius Yield?
Hi, Matthew. Thank you for hosting me today. My name is Bartosz Antoniak. I am head of marketing at Genius Yield and GeniusX. Quick reminder, at Genius Yield, we're building a centralized liquidity exchange, GeniusDex, that will be combined with Yield Optimizer Smart Liquidity Vaults. We also recently launched Genius Academy project. And also GeniusX, this is also part of our ecosystem. It's a launchpad and accelerator program for young and most promising Cardano startups.
So as of the 27th, Vasil features are live. What are some features that you are most excited to see Genius Yield take advantage of going forward?
So there are two features that could name that we are particularly looking forward the most. First feature is reference scripts that will lower our transaction fees. Simply it will make it cheaper. And second one is diffuse pipelining that we hope will set the foundation for the high transaction through output on our GeniusDex.
So with the continued development and growth of the Cardano ecosystem, there's a strong need for education, and that's something you guys are really stepping into. Can you tell us a little bit about Genius Academy?
Genius Academy is a project that we launched recently as a new member of our so-called Genius family. Let me just briefly name two unique features that I believe are unique for Genius Academy. So first one, this is the approach to learning. We prepare educational materials both for self-learners, but also for people who prefer more structured way of educating. That's why we are working on so-called learning paths, learning journeys. And we also, from the very beginning of Genius Academy, we are teaming up with various external partners like PSL University, with whom we'll be creating like a full-scale courses that will end with a diploma. And second unique thing is that we plan to provide like real-life utility knowledge that could be used by anyone who would like to start working in the crypto industry or like to manage or even launch his or her own crypto startup. So this is kind of knowledge, and this is kind of unique knowledge, unique way of delivering this knowledge for Genius Academy.
Education is really in everyone's interest in the Cardano ecosystem. So if there's anybody who wants to join you either to learn or to help educate, how can they do that?
There are various ways of supporting us. So firstly, you can just share articles or guidelines or ebooks that we publish on our Genius Academy with your friends and colleagues, anyone who would like to use such knowledge and such materials. Secondly, I encourage everyone, industry experts, to apply and to co-create with us, also by applying through our Genius Ambassadors program, which is available on our webpage. And thirdly, I also can encourage everyone to join our Genius Yield Telegram and Discord communities, share your ideas, share your feedback, also the negative feedback, because this is what helps us to improve and to develop our Genius Academy.
It has been great to have you on the show today, Bartosz. Thank you for everything that you're doing with Genius Yield.
Thank you, Matthew. Have a good day.
So Ron, over to you. For anybody new to the ecosystem, can you introduce them to Dquadrant?
My name is Arnaud Bailly. I am CEO of Dquadrant, and basically we are an IT services company and software development company from the Netherlands.
And your team has been heavily involved with IOG engineering, testing Vasil. Can you tell us what's that been like?
Yeah, that was quite a good experience for us because we had to run over several nodes, over several networks, doing testing of Plutus V1 scripts, if they still worked on the new nodes, passing basically the Vasil hard fork in our own private testnet. All these kinds of things which you have to do basically to test, to make sure that existing dApps keep working on the new situation, and also making sure that the new functionality that is provided is working and not breaking things that were delivered in the past.
So I understand that your team has also delivered some exciting new tooling, including some tooling that may be alternate to Plutus application backend. So can you tell us what those pieces of tooling are and what they're going to do for developers in the Cardano ecosystem?
The tooling is called Cuba. It's a Haskell and Plutus library and API. It comes with its own playground. And basically our goal with that tooling is to reduce the level of entrance because most of the developers who start with Cardano follow the Plutus Pioneer program, and then they are being confronted with the fact that they have to set up their own node, start compiling it, having problems with all kinds of dependencies, and before you know, all the time of the education is gone on the infrastructure part, and basically they don't have or limited time to start developing and using Plutus. And this is what we want to overcome with this tooling, because the goal of us is to provide a complete IDE on basis of Plutus Haskell to easily compose transactions against Cardano.
So Vasil features have arrived as of the 27th. Can you tell us what is Dquadrant really excited for next?
Well, we are excited to see what the contribution of Cuba is, if it really will help basically onboarding new developers, and if they are excited about using this functionality. Next to the fact that we are continuing to work together with IOHK, this time till the end of the year, doing community tickets, backlog handling, which are related to Plutus Haskell development. Next to that, we are also testing layer 2 solution an interoperability functionality that was provided by another IOHK partner. And we are basically testing if that implementation is correct. And if everything goes fine, that will be part of the next implementation of the Cardano node. So that's what we are very excited about, to do that work for IOHK, and hopefully that will be successful. And we see that back in the next node functionality.
And so, Ron, if anybody in the ecosystem wants to get involved with Dquadrant, talk to you guys, collaborate with you, where should they go?
Yeah, they can go, of course, to our website, which is dquadrant.com. Next to that, we have our own GitHub repository, GitHub Dquadrant/Cuba, where you can find more information about Cuba. And of course, in our Dquadrant GitHub repository, they can see also progress and things we are doing currently for IOHK related to the community tickets.
Ron, thank you for being on the show today.
You're welcome.
And we'll be sure to feature more projects building on Plutus version 2 over the weeks ahead. So if you want to get featured, there's a link below. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, the real power of Cardano is the technology and the community building on it. And at the base layer of all of that is research. IOG already supports research labs and collaboration projects with the University of Edinburgh, University of Wyoming, University of Athens and Tokyo Institute of Technology, among others. And we've published over 140 papers to advance the state of blockchain research, not just for Cardano, but for the industry as a whole. So that goal of encouraging fundamental blockchain industry research got an additional fillip at the end of last month when IOG announced a brand new $4.5 million collaboration with the world-famous Stanford University.
We tried to find ways to create collaborations that would allow us to ask difficult problems and solve those problems. And there's a lot of amazing people at this university. And it got to a point where it made a lot of sense to set up a lab.
It's going actually to empower a lot of different academics from different areas to come together, prepare proposals, and then if they are approved, they will be funded and they will be able to perform them and investigate the respective problems that they've identified, and at the end, disseminate them widely in the spirit of free and open academic research.
The time has come to begin to standardize and create a common vocabulary and ultimately a common set of solutions that works for everybody. So we view this lab in particular as a major step forward in kind of the cross-blockchain communication, the cross-ecosystem communication, and our hope is that the work here can standardize many things for the coming years and decades.
Alongside that commitment to research is IOG's commitment to its practical, secure application. The core Cardano platform is built using Haskell, a functional language well suited to creating high-assurance code. It's used by many well-known companies, including Facebook and Oracle, and across many mission-critical applications, including financial services and even aerospace. But while those who know Haskell value its elegance and its utility, the learning curve can be steep. And it forms the basis of Plutus, the native Cardano smart contract language, which is why IOG's education team has created a brand new open source training program, a Haskell Bootcamp, to offer the basics in a convenient, self-paced learning format for devs who are looking to build on their Plutus skills. We asked Robertino from the education team to give us a quick rundown.
Hi, I'm Robertino Martinez. I'm part of the education team at Input Output and teacher of IOG's Haskell course. One of the education team's main goals is to provide all the resources necessary for developers to build their own dApps in Cardano. But one of the main feedback we had was the level of difficulty due to a lack of a solid Haskell foundation. And that's why we created the Haskell course. It's a self-paced course. There will be no cohorts, you can start whenever you want and you can complete the lessons at your own rhythm. Also, we are implementing a rolling release type of delivery. We already published the first 4 lessons and will keep publishing them as soon as they are done. All the lessons will be available in both interactive and video format. The interactive format is a Jupyter notebook that allows you to modify and run the code while reading the lesson. Both formats contain the same exact information, so you can choose the one you like the most or do both. Plus, every lesson will have a homework that we really encourage you to complete. All the resources are remote. This means that you can go through the entire course without downloading or installing anything on your computer. All you need is a web browser. Of course, everything is public and open source, and we're really looking forward to keep iterating and improving the course based on the community's feedback. So, who's this course for? For anyone interested in learning Haskell or that wants to learn Marlowe and Plutus and doesn't have a strong Haskell foundation. Because we start from scratch, we have just one prerequisite: wanting to learn Haskell. We already have more than 2,000 students. I will be glad to have you on board. If you're interested, go to our GitHub repository, input-output-hk/Haskell course. The link is in the description. We aim to make it as easy and as fun as possible, and we hope you enjoy it.
Still on the topic of education, earlier this summer, some of the IOG team visited Mongolia. Developer education is central to the Cardano mission, and as part of that visit, we held a graduation event in Ulaanbaatar for our Mongolian Haskell course. Let's find out more.
I found out about Bitcoin back in 2013, and I wanted to see what happens behind the curtain. When I tried to understand what's happening with the blockchain technology, it clicked in my mind. And
education is really at the heart of both community building and community empowerment. Obviously, it's been central to IOG's mission and central to Cardano's mission from the get-go. And I think the Haskell course here in Mongolia is a very good example of that.
My name is Lars. I'm the Director of Education at IOG. We are in Mongolia mostly for this graduation ceremony for the graduates of the Haskell class I taught 2 years ago. Haskell is our main implementation language. It's extremely valuable to have learned Haskell because it gives you a completely new perspective to look at problems.
I finished the Haskell course in Mongolia, and today I'm graduating. Haskell is a functional programming language, and it broadened my horizons and the way of thinking. Now I'm looking back at it. It's become an unforgettable memory of my life.
The beautiful part is it is a global ecosystem. So we're able to train people, even remotely, to actually build on this ecosystem. Blockchain is just the infrastructure, but for these students, for example, they're actually able to build their own products here that are attuned to the culture of Mongolia.
We talk about developer equality, we talk about diversity, we talk about all these things. Well, you have to practice what you preach. You have to live these things. And how you do that is you go to these places and you give an invitation for people to participate. And what I found throughout my career is every time you open up that channel, you will be overwhelmed by people ready, willing, and able, capable of doing it. And those people oftentimes are far more impressive than their Western counterparts because they want it more. They want to earn it. They want to build it in that respect. So it's great to be here to do the graduation, and I'm waiting 2 years for this moment, and COVID kind of robbed it from us, but we didn't let it take it from us forever.
Now that I have finished the course, I'm working for I.O. I write smart contracts and test smart contracts. Also, I assist Lars to teach. Having the ability to work in international company is great because I can now teach others.
We promised we'd be here, and it's going to be a great celebration of their hard work, but it's just one milestone in a broader spectrum of milestones of how do you get a better philosophy of how to write software paired with a more diverse set of developers who think differently. That's how you change the world.
As Cardano scales, the IOG engineering teams are continuing to work on a range of solutions to boost network performance further. For those of you who may not be familiar with Mithril, it's designed to provide a certified snapshot of the chain's state, allowing SPOs and developers to more easily bootstrap a Cardano node without having to download or verify the full chain. Because each node holds a full copy of the blockchain, node synchronization takes time. Each new node needs to download and verify each block. Deadless, for example, is a full node wallet that downloads a full copy of the Cardano blockchain and independently validates every transaction in its history. Mithril seeks to offer greater speed and convenience while carrying the same security properties as Cardano's underlying protocol, Ouroboros. Here's Arnaud with the latest on progress.
Hello, I'm Arnaud. I work at IOG and I am the lead architect for the Mithril and Hydra projects. And I will give you a quick overview of what are the latest news for Mithril. So as you may know, we have open sourced the project a few weeks ago. Since then, several SPOs have jumped on board and have started testing Mithril on the preview network as signers. There is also an active Discord channel that's been opened on the IOG technical community Discord server that people also join. It's called, obviously, Moria. So feel free to join to have a chat if you're interested in getting on the bleeding edge of Mithril. As the last step to open source and really to open the development of Mithril, we have invited the SPOs that registered with us on the Mithril website to join the bi-weekly demo session that we are running so that you can really get a sneak peek at what's going on and what's baked by the team. And the first session took place on the 22nd of September. It was a nice session to engage with the few SPOs that were there and to see the faces and talk with people that have been helping us so far. On the technical side of things, we have mostly been working on refining the whole signing process, which is the core part of Mithril, like producing the signatures and producing the snapshots. We have been able to improve the whole process, mostly taking care of the stake distribution, proper handling of the Genesis certificate, and better handling of the signer's registration process using the key keys. From that point on, our next major milestone will be to make sure that we improve the release process to provide proper versions and to add some more staging environments so that we really make available released artifacts that have the highest possible quality to the community as a whole. I guess that's the most of it for the news about Mithril. Last words, we are going to join the October SPO call and do a demo for the whole SPO community so that you will have the opportunity to see how Mithril works in greater details if you have not yet done so. So please be sure to join us on October 6th and looking forward to see you there and to answer questions. In the meantime, have a good day and see you later.
So a big shout out to Arnaud and the Mithril team for getting us to this stage, and to the SPOs who'll be helping things progress. So if you're an SPO and want to get involved with the Mithril program, be sure to join Arnaud and the rest of the team for our October SPO call next week. The sign up link is below. The Cardano Summit is coming, to be held in Lausanne, Switzerland in late November. Preparations and nominations are already well underway. Here's the Cardano Foundation's David Taylor with more.
Super. Thank you for the introduction, Tim. For those that don't know me, my name's David Taylor, the Global Marketing Director at the Cardano Foundation, here to talk to you today about the Cardano Summit that's coming up in just a couple of months' time. It's going to be from November the 19th to the 21st, and it's going to be including some incredible new introductions and surprises along the way. So on the Saturday, which is November the 19th, we're going to be hosting a welcome evening at the Olympic Museum in Lausanne, which is an opportunity for guests to come together, have fun, meet fellow attendees, and reconnect with everybody across the Cardano ecosystem. The 20th, which is the Sunday, will be what we're calling Building Cardano. And this is where the rubber really hits the road. We're going to be having presentations, updates, and news stories from those building Cardano. And the evening is going to see the introduction of the inaugural Cardano Summit Awards. At time of recording, I'm pleased to say that we have had hundreds of nominations across ambassadors, blockchain for good, DeFis, DEXs, educational influencers, marketplaces, most impactful stake pool operators, and of course, NFT projects. So look forward to hearing more about that over the coming days and weeks. One thing, of course, I can't forget is the mission of this Cardano Summit is to help the Cardano ecosystem to evolve. And as part of that, we're going to be running Cardano community-led events as well. So these are going to be all over the world. We're going to be supporting 50 or more. And at this time of recording, we've seen more than 360 enthusiasts from across the Cardano ecosystem register interest to host their friends and family all around the world to learn more about Cardano, to watch the summit, to get together before, during, and after the event. So lots to look forward to there. November the 21st is what we're calling Building on Cardano. And again, this is something net new for the Cardano Summit. This year, we're giving the main stage to the Cardano community. So all of those projects that are building on Cardano are already being considered. At this time of recording, we've seen over 300 people nominated in the various categories that the Cardano ecosystem wants to hear from at the Cardano Summit. To register, head over to summit.cardano.org, where we'll be posting all of the latest and greatest updates. You'll be able to register for the respective events, and you will be able to sign up for your ticket.
So thanks, David, for that update. Looking forward to a great event with lots to celebrate. And talking of which, we've had a few more reasons to be cheerful these past 2 weeks. A successful Vasil upgrade landed as we're celebrating another major event, Cardano's 5th anniversary. To mark that, we put out a film on Tuesday featuring Charles and you, the community.
Hi, this is Charles Hoskinson, broadcasting from warm, sunny Colorado. More than 5 years ago, we had a dream of launching a wonderful ecosystem that would transform the world. Through the hard work of millions of people like yourselves, all throughout the world, with a common mission to improve the systems that we use every day. Whether they be voting systems, whether they be supply chain, financial systems. At the end of the day, most of the things we use, we have usually little control over and are many times victimized by them, especially within the developing world, as we see the price of remittances and microfinance. So if one's goal is to give economic identity to those who don't have it, to bank the unbanked, and to build a platform to enable the dreams of so many throughout the world, you need great software and you need great protocols. 5 years ago, we launched Cardano as a community. This was the hard work of an evidence-based development approach, utilizing peer review with more than 140 papers written by scientists throughout the world, and formal methods written by some of the best software engineers ever to write code, utilizing great tools and languages like Haskell, Isabelle, Agda, and of course, just good old-fashioned agile development processes. We've learned a lot over these last 5 years, and we've grown a lot over these last 5 years as a community. Vasil represents a very significant event in the history of Cardano. Things like reference inputs, reference scripts, inline datums, these types of ideas, they vastly improve the expressiveness of Cardano, which will enable new experiences like algorithmic stablecoins such as JED, as well as a lot of DeFi that we've seen be incubated within the Ethereum space, be able to migrate to Cardano, vastly improving our TVL, as well as ultimately building a stronger, more resilient, more useful ecosystem. As we look to 2023, we have two major domains left. This is the beginning of the Basho era, with pipelining coming. And at the end of the year, things like Mithril reaching a 1.0 state, and shortly thereafter, Hydra. And we look at Voltaire, the seeds of self-governance, recursive governance, the seeds of self-determination, pushing power to the edges, are already underway. We'll have many announcements as an ecosystem come November, members-based organizations already under construction to represent the bureaucracy of the Cardano ecosystem. And now we are witnessing real time the power of deep foresight. Every protocol upgrade, even though it's getting more complicated and serves more demands and requires more coordination, is done relatively seamlessly because of the hard fork combinator mechanism, and ultimately will enable us to compete for the years to come as a community and as an ecosystem, and give assurances to all those who build on Cardano that they are building on strong foundations, which will be here, hopefully, as long as the internet has been and beyond. So on behalf of the Input-Output Global team, thank you all for being part of this community. Thank you all for the contributions you've made. And thank you so much for being part of the Cardano family. This truly is a labor of love, and we love what we do, and we love working with all of you. It's been a long 5 years. It's been a good 5 years, and I look forward to the next 5 years. Cheers.
After 5 years smoking the competition, happy birthday, Cardano.
5 years? Has it been that long? Still feels like day one, though.
Happy 5th birthday, Cardano!
Le deseo un muy feliz aniversario a toda la comunidad de Cardano y por muchísimos aniversarios más.
Happy birthday, Cardano.
Happy birthday, Cardano, from Italy.
Happy birthday, Cardano. I'm 5'2".
Hey Cardano, happy birthday from the Genius Yield team. Let me do it for you. Cheers.
Cardano, happy 5 years anniversary.
Happy birthday, Cardano. I hope everyone's doing good, and best of luck you guys for your upcoming big works and big projects.
Happy 5 years, Cardano. Here's to many more.
Happy birthday, Cardano. 5 years old today. Hip hip, hooray!
Magic and sparkles to you all. Much love from the fairies.
Happy birthday, Cardano. 生日快乐，生日快乐。
Hello everyone, this is Cvetan checking in from warm sunny Plovdiv, Bulgaria. I'm at the sacred Cardano trees, where 3 years ago, thanks to Vasil, we met here to celebrate the 2nd anniversary of Cardano. Everyone came, it was a magical event, and now it's 5 years Cardano, so thank you very much everyone. Thank you Vasil for everything, and especially the community for taking care of this. Thank you.
Вітаю з 5-ю річницею Cardano. З днем народження.
It is an honor to be a part of such a growing community. Feliz cumpleaños, Cardano. Happy 5th anniversary and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Cardano.
Felicidades, Cardano. Happy birthday, Cardano.
Feliz cumpleaños, Cardano.
Feliz cumpleaños, Cardano.
Happy birthday, Cardano. 5 years of pura vida. Woo!
It's been 5 years, Cardano. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
5周年おめでとう. Happy birthday, Cardano.
Happy birthday, Cardano. And I'm looking forward to many, many more.
Charles from Mano to Mano. Happy birthday, Cardano.
Happy birthday, Cardano.
Happy 5th birthday, Cardano. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Cardano.
Happy 5th birthday, Cardano.
Happy birthday, Cardano. TikTok, let's go.
Happy 5th anniversary to Cardano.
Happy birthday, Cardano.
Happy birthday!
From Horus Take Pool, happy birthday, Cardano.
Così americano, happy birthday, Cardano.
Happy birthday, Cardano!
And if you missed that full message, we've included the link below. So we've covered the Cardano Summit in November, but if you're US-based, there are not just one, but 2 opportunities for you to meet up with fellow community members in October. Ben O'Hanlon sat down with Marco from CNFTcon and Peyton from the RareBloom for an update on 2 exciting new events.
Hi, my name is Ben O'Hanlon. I'm the head of community for Input Output.
I've heard it said that a community isn't a community until it self-organizes, which is one of the reasons I'm so pleased to see two big events like CNFTcon and RareBloom getting organized in the next few weeks. I'm going to catch up with Marco from CNFTcon and Big Pay from RareBloom. Marco, great to have you here. Do you want to give yourself an introduction?
Sure. I'm Marco. I'm a co-creator of BuffyBot and also co-founder of CNFTcon.
So I've heard a lot about CNFTcon from you, but do you want to give us like 2 or 3 key highlights about what's happening and when?
Our main focus really is to provide a place for everybody to come, relax, have a good time. Also to educate the public on the fact that blockchain is much more than a currency, that it's a platform. We're going to be having an educational aspect where people can check in. It's a partnership with UNLV where they come in, they get a passport, a workbook, and they can learn all about the basics of Web3. That way, if you're bringing your significant other or friends and family who know nothing about the space, they will have a working knowledge, basically, of what they're seeing at the show. At the same time, we want to give a place to where everybody who's been hanging out online, who've been chatting online for 2 years, to come and kind of meet each other, hang out, and have a good time. We have over 120 different Cardano-related projects that we'll be displaying at the show that people will be able to interact with.
That's great. I mean, I remember being on a call with you where you were showing me the schematics and the plans, and it was really epic, So I've seen you making some of this happen. Who else is helping you to make it happen? Who's sponsoring the event?
Well, we have several different sponsors. It's over 200,000 square feet here in Las Vegas at the Convention Center. We have our main stage, which is going to feature stuff like Virtua, Cornucopias, Ben Gortzel, Noom. We have the Atala Prism Theater, sponsored by Atala Prism, obviously. Cabin Key Theater, which is going to focus a little bit on Hollywood and entertainment and aspects of the show. We have Vibra House / Space Buds, which is going to focus on mental health, meditation, and that kind of stuff. We also have the Marco's Corner / Kopi Cafe in partnership with Cornucopias, which will be a smaller, like one-on-one late night show type of panels. We're going to be live streaming the main stage, as well as filming all the different panel rooms that will go up online after the fact.
And how can people join? How can they buy a ticket?
You can check out CNFTcon.io. We have premium passes for $60 or $60 ADA. We also have general admission tickets for $25, and children 12 and under will be free. There's going to be plenty for kids if they want to check it out and learn as well. It's not just for adults. We have the kickoff party starting on the 7th at 7:30 to midnight, which is more of a mixer so that everybody can kind of get to know each other, hang out, meet all the people that you haven't seen or ever met before but chatted with all these years online. A lot of that stuff is coming together. Like I said, we have over 200,000 square feet of stuff going on. Even a sumo suit Battle of the Devs challenge that allows a lot of those having their Twitter beefs, being able to settle them here at CNFTcon.
I know. How can people participate if they can't make it, but they can, they're online?
We're going to be live streaming the event, the main stage. And then, like I said, we'll be able to upload all of the panels after the fact on our YouTube channel as well. And so you can follow some discussions on Twitter. There'll be people here posting stuff. There'll be some exclusives and stuff dropped during the show that you'll want to be watching so you can jump in on some of that stuff.
Great, Marco. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for coming on. Any last thoughts?
I just want to tell everybody thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys all at CNFTcon.
Now, moving over to Big Pay. For those who don't know you, can you give us an introduction?
Yeah, so my name is Peyton. I run a YouTube channel called Big Pay, and I've started many companies trying to increase the accessibility for users on Cardano.
You're basically a household name in Cardano now, but what is RareBloom?
RareBloom is the largest community-led event ever hosted. We've got 40 plus projects coming to the event. For example, we've got ADAO, SingularityNet, IOG, DC Spark, MinSwap, Sunday Swap. A lot of the big projects that you've heard of building on Cardano, adding utility on Cardano, are all going to be in the same place in Denver, Colorado for 2 days on October 14th and 15th of next month. To me, these events are very important because they really increase the density of the community and the partnerships and, you know, the network that we all have here. And we're also going to have 22 speakers on stage. You know, one of my favorite speeches is coming from you know, on community. We're also going to have one from Charles, one from me and Umed as well. We're going to have one from Ben Gortzel, Claymates with Champ Medici, and many more speeches.
It's really exciting that this is happening, Pei. Who's helping to make it happen? Who are the sponsors?
The community showed up to support us. And, you know, I want to use a second to say thank you guys because, you know, most of our supporters are directly from the community and they were the first to support us. So I want to say thank you to SingularityNet first and foremost, Fi-Fi, Clay Nation, IOG, DeFi Yield, Hypercycle, NewNet, DC Spark, Sunday Swap. The list really goes on. So the community is what allowed this to actually happen. So thank you guys.
Why is it important for the community to have these types of events?
My first ever Cardano meetup was actually in Miami, and there were 400 people there. And this was my first time ever meeting anyone else from the Cardano community. I was always that weird guy, you know, yelling about Cardano to my friends and family, but no one really understood. And when I went to that first meetup and, you know, met other people in this community, I realized that they were doers. They were people that were inspired to, you know, actually move the world forward. And they believed that, you know, cryptocurrency is our one shot at it. And, you know, speaking with all of these people, I became inspired in my work. I went home and I worked even harder on videos. I worked even harder on my companies, and it was because of the people that I met. So then 6 months later, I went to the Cardano Summit in Wyoming, and there were 700 people there. So almost an 80% increase, you know, in that short amount of time. And it was the same thing, but I was even more inspired by this event. And then fast forward to Consensus, there were 1,600 people there. And that inspiration that I got and the friends that I met that live all over the world, you know, there are some places that I can, you know, have a place to stay if I need to from these people that I met. And this also led to new companies and new partnerships. RareBloom itself was started because of these meetups at one of these meetups. You know, Drip Drops is another sponsor of our event. They were started at the Cardano Summit. So these are necessary, one for education, one for networking, and one for inspiration.
Pei, you mentioned people that are doers. If someone's coming to this event, what's in it for them? What are the outcomes they might hope for?
It really depends on where you are with your current participation and honestly your learning journey. If you're already in this space, if you're a builder, oftentimes you're going to come to an event like this to meet what you're missing in your company, whether that be marketing or whether it be a partnership with someone who's already built open source software that you can use. Whereas if you're just starting out, maybe you're coming to see what your place is in this community. You know, do I need to be a developer? The answer is no. All of the existing, you know, jobs and tasks, they still exist in the blockchain world. So that's why I would come to this event. One, to learn, to network, and really find your place in this community.
And how can people join?
So all you have to do is go to rarebloom.io. You can actually purchase your tickets in USD or ADA. When you do that, you actually get an NFT ticket with that, and then one random NFT from one of our partner projects. For example, my favorite one is the Claymates hoodie NFT. It says RareBloom on it, and then that hoodie you can actually use to customize one of your existing Claymates from the first Clay Nation collection. So we've also got one from Dead Pixel and Ben Gortzel and many more. So we're trying to utilize the Cardano blockchain with this event.
How can they get involved online, Pei, if they're not able to attend?
So it's a great question. We're actually going to be doing a live stream of the event for both days. We're also going to be doing Twitter Spaces in the morning. I'm going to be uploading these videos afterwards on my channel. And there's also going to be, we're still working on it, so maybe it's going to be a little shoddy, but there's going to be a 3D space where users can actually view the Jam Galaxy band, which includes Ben Gortzel and many other great artists, playing live with an AI humanoid robot on stage. So you can actually be at the event in a 3D space with us for the after party, and you can watch the live stream all day. And then on my channel, you know, Big Pei, youtube.com/Big Pei, I'll be doing some, you know, off and on streams throughout the day.
Great. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that really covers it. You know, these events, they're very expensive to come to. And, you know, we tried to make this event accessible for all of the new startups building on Cardano. And, you know, our cost is anywhere from 3 to 10 times cheaper from existing events because we're trying to facilitate the networking, you know, of startups on Cardano because Alonzo just came last year.
But the value, right? I mean, when I met you in Austin, it was a game changer for me because it's the relationships, and community is relationships all the way down, you know? So face-to-face matters, you know, however advanced the tech is getting, you know?
Yeah, it's very important.
Great. Thanks, Marco and Big Pay. I really enjoyed listening to that. For anyone that's watching, we'll put the links below, or you can always DM me directly at Ben O'Hanlon on Twitter. My DMs are open for anyone in the Cardano community.
So wishing every success to both CNFTcon and RareBloom. Members of the IOG team, including Charles, will be at both events, so we hope to see some of you there. Well, that's a wrap for September. Before we go, a heads up on some of the pieces published on the IOG blog and on Essential Cardano this last month. Make sure you pay a visit there to read the latest, including more on Mithril, DIDs and digital identity, and a piece from community project C Explorer about getting intimate with Cardano. We'll see you in October.